So go ahead and put your hand on your heart. This is Teresa Phelps Martin, and I'm just going to share with you the themes for January, or what I will start calling these are the month's energetic signature. So pause for a moment. We're just going to call on the highest and draw an intention in a circle of light around ourselves as we begin again. We begin really this time anew. Breathe into your hips and your pelvis and just appreciate this vehicle of life, your body, the physical reality, the material world. And just really honor and respect your existence and embodiment. And then climb up to the heavens above, to the skies, to the vastness. Calling on the highest, breathing all the way in, and breathing all the way out. And then bringing this energy into your own heart, your own intention, your own integration of your highest self into your present life. Bring your right hand to come and rest on your heart with your left. Let your head bow down, palms turn up, eyes open. And so however you're finding this, however you're joining and tuning in, I had some technical difficulties in the beginning. Sometimes my mind leaps so far into the future, my brilliance is slow to catch up. I'll say it sweetly. So what I'm going to do here is present this energy of January, the energetic signature. And, you know, I'm going to give a little introduction because it's always good, no matter where you're tuning in, whether it's live or replay or months later, via YouTube, via email, if I email it out. However this finds you, however it comes into your path, know that it lands at just the right time. And when we work with this energy, we work with an understanding of a bigger influence in our life. But we also want to remember there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to be scared of, because we're living and breathing. And that ability to live and breathe means you hold authority in your life. That means that you take whatever information serves you and you leave the rest behind, and that you let just whatever you capture captivate you as you are, and let it inform the way you want to navigate. Because while the cosmos give us a map and an idea of the influence of the energy in our lives, we are the captain of the ship, right? You are the one taking the lead in your life. So I'm going to share this recap, and that'll also help people who are tuning in live to tune in and catch up and acclimate. But I am somebody who I have been fascinated with the heavens since I was a young child. I can still remember years ago sitting at Infinite Bliss here in Louisville, Kentucky, when Dara Harper owned the studio. We were upstairs and I was teaching prenatal yoga. So this is going way far back. And when you are pregnant with anything, an idea, a vision, a heart, life, a relationship, any sort of kind of feeling a deep connection to being pulled forward and growing energy, you're just a little more heightened in the influence. And I remember all of these women walking up, and when you have a room with 5 pregnant goddesses, you have to remember there's the teacher, 5 pregnant goddesses. That is a total of 11 hearts. So there's a lot of energy and it's heightened. And I remember looking up to the skies and being like, I just need somebody to help guide me in understanding what's happening in the cosmos, because I know it's impacting us. So fast forward to present day. And I've had a lot of teachers and mentors and have used 2020 to dive deeply. So I'm now sharing it with you guys, okay? So recap. The weather informs us. The weather of the day, the way you're gonna dress, the way you're gonna engage in the world. If you've ever lived somewhere near a coast or maritime climate, the weather can change instantly. And that's a little bit of this theme for this moving forward. And so when we can kind of tap into the cosmos, it influences us as well. We have the sun and the moon, which are our luminaries. They are the energy that rules our year, since I'm coming to you on New Year's Day, because we start a new 365-day journey around the sun. The moon regulates our months. It also is the rhythm of the dancing tides. So they illuminate our life. They're also they're not planets, but they are the energy that casts light onto this body of Earth, okay? So we know the sun's in Capricorn, that's an Earth energy. So we will have the first half of January will be in this ambitious, dedicated energy of Earth that's initiating new beginnings, all right? And then we also have the moon dances every few days. And when we have this new moon energy that will happen January 12th, January 13th, depending on where you are, it's really about invoking this earth energy, okay? But before I get ahead of myself, I want you to also know there's personal planets of Mercury, which rules the way we think, our mentality. And everybody has a birth chart because everybody was born on planet Earth. And so when you know your personal chart, you can actually work with this. But I'm just going to give the general energetic signature. Mercury is the mind. Venus is our values. It's like what we want in life. It's our values. It's what we love. And then Mars is the energy of our assertiveness. Like, how do we go after it? How do we take that drive and step out into the world? Okay. Then we have this social regulators, this idea of contraction and expansion of Jupiter, which is the expanse of anything it touches gets bigger. It's also the biggest planet in our solar system. And then you have Saturn, which is the one that has rings and limitator. And traditionally Saturn was the end. It was the last thing we could see with the eye. So then we have the last three planets. I just want you to know what I'm talking about, where I'm coming from. I'll do a little how can we live with the cosmos later this year. If you're interested in it, it's coming. Because you can work more personally for yourself and embrace this language that's ancient in a new way, which is also the theme of 2021. Okay. So those last three planets, Uranus, which is like the rebellion, the breakthrough, humanitarian pursuits, which is also Aquarius energy. We have Neptune, which is our dreams, our psyche, the unconscious layer, the mystical parts that are deep within ourselves that are beautiful and spiritual. And then we have the energy of Pluto, which astrology doesn't call Pluto a planet. I'm sorry, astrology does include Pluto as a planet. And astronomy, some take it, some leave it. So we're going to call it the family pet, because family pets teach us about life and death. And that's the transformative power of being on this earth. And it's very distant. It's very hard to feel and tap into, and it's usually in the dark. So here we go. So that's a summary real quickly. That's our solar system. Those are the 7 main energies that influence our psyche, both individual, personal, and global and transpersonal, the worldview. All right. So the 13 signs of the zodiac illuminate the night sky. They inform the energetic system. All right. And in that energetic system, we have 4 basic elements of fire, which is the initiator of spirit. We have earth, which is our drive, our material world, our physicality. We have air, which is our thoughts, our quickness. And we have water, which is our emotional land and the way we nourish and the way we feel. Okay. And so I don't want to get into Astrology 101. I'm going to give you this little recap that is here for you. And I have so many notes because my son is in Gemini and I like to go deep. So I'm trying to be precise and clear and give you that energy that supports you, right? You hold authority. You get to use this how you want to. Last little part and piece that's important to know. We go through cycles of, they're the same as the seasons. We have new, which is usually spring, right? But we have the new moon, we have a first quarter moon. So new is when we have intention. That first quarter is a 90-degree angle. That's where we realign because we feel challenges. We have a full moon, which is where there's opposition, 180 degrees. And that is illumination or embodiment. And then our final moment is that where we are energetically in the bigger transpersonal energies and social regulators that's going to influence this entire year is the time to resolve, to respect, to make peace, to forgive. All right, this is a lot, but I just like to be transparent. Okay, so here we go. The energy themes, the major elements of January are earth and air. These are also the transitions we're making collectively all year long. And how do we bring in the future and cut ties to the past to really start anew? So we have the first day of January. We have the first day of 2021. We have the moon, though, that is in its resolve energy. So that right there, and the moon is in fire. We don't have a lot of fire this month, but we have just enough to keep us going, to keep our drive and perseverance, which will keep today. We have a little more dreams and a little more harmony and just really pleasing energy. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. And in that understanding of earth, we have these new beginnings and our existence is being radically transformed. That continues on. And so how does this affect us personally? Well, all the personal planets within the first week of January are going to change, which that means new energy. We have Mercury that moves into Aquarius. We have Venus that will move into Capricorn, and we have Mars that will move into Taurus. So we have earth and air again, right? So we have this earth and energy. So major themes around this is stay curious, cultivate patience, adapt to change and challenge. It's going to feel, the pace is going to feel like it's picked up, right? 2020 probably felt like the longest year. That also is over already. So the earth and air elements don't complement each other. Earth and fire complement. They're that outgoing drive, and earth and water complement. They're the inward energy, and air and fire complement. They're the outward energy. So we have this as above, so below idea that we really want to embrace and use this energy to get clear in our values and cultivate strong boundaries. Now, boundaries isn't about keeping energy out. It's also about nourishing the energy we hold inside. So make yourself a priority. So we all know that January, New Year's resolution, what's your intention? What's your word? There's just this natural energy to begin again. But what I want to really emphasize, as we're beginning again, we don't want to deny the journey of last year. What we want to do is really integrate. So this theme of the moon being in Leo, being playful, how can you reclaim your joy? How can you connect to the love for yourself so we can bring that unconditional love forward for humanity? How can you stay open to continuously changing, but getting grounded in refining the structures for yourself through your values, through your boundaries, and using that energy so that you can really cultivate relationships and re-examine the impact, the way you're shining your light right? The way you're allowing other people's light to shine as well. So that is it in a nutshell. I'm going to give you some major dates. One would be the fact that we have this third quarter moon coming up, and it's going to be in Libra, and that's going to happen. So many different notes here. January 6th. So that's a great time to connect with people that you love. How can you connect to the harmony in the relationship with yourself and the relationship out in the world? How can you reevaluate it, right? Remember, we're in this closure of energy in the cycle of the moon. We're also in the closure of this energy of the social regulators and the conversation it's having with breakthrough, changing our ways, changing our sense of security. So getting clear in what's sustainable for you is really important this first half of January. And simplify, which is really funny because I just gave you a whole big nutshell. But the thing about astrology is it's a language. What we know about language is the more we engage with it and communicate with it and hang out in that conversation, it becomes more familiar. Okay, so another big date is the moon. Why the moon? It changes our mood. It's our inner world. So if we're going to cultivate a new connection to safety, we want to cultivate the connection inwardly. We want to dive in. We want to call on our future self. And so when we get to the new moon, which is January 12th, January 13th, wherever you are, it's in the later degrees of Capricorn. Don't worry about that. But if you know degrees in your birth chart, you can look to which house, where it lands in your birth chart at 23 degrees Capricorn. That is like a level 3 thing, but hey, I don't know who's going to be watching this. And it's really about cutting ties, because in this energy of the 13th, and I'll do more as the month goes, we want to realize that our values are really appreciating transformation. So how can you be open to changing your own habits, your own energy, and realizing that this energy between Jupiter and Saturn, and this energy of Pluto that's cleaning up the mess of 2020 and is going to keep asking us to integrate the lessons. Don't deny it. Don't be like, oh, it's over, hallelujah, move forward. That's going to make the challenges and the conflict and the frustration even stronger. We want to invite it in, and we want to invite in the growth. And how do you grow? You do the deep inner work, which I know is hard, but it is so valuable. And it connects you. It connects you more to your truth and your authenticity and helps you align. And that's my jam. That's what I love to help people do. And that's why I'm showing up with these energetic signatures. That's my ambition of your private life, because that's the deal. These regulators and this transpersonal, this kind of like collective, how are we going to take care of the earth? How are we honoring our resources? And this ambition that we're going to feel at the beginning of the year, the way we assert ourselves, the energy really, the underlying, the like superpower is tenacity and patience. So we're going to feel lots of things changing quickly, but we're also going to be asked to slow our roll. Okay? And as we slow our roll, good things will come, because real change, like think about pregnancy of anything, you don't just have the thought and it manifests, right? If a woman decides consciously, or maybe unconsciously, it's brought to her attention that she's going to bring in life, there's a gestation period. So respect the gestation for yourself and for humanity, and that we can give birth to new ways of being for the greater good, for humanity, for the bigger picture, all right? And in that, we want to stay curious of the future. Call in your future self. This is all new moon energy, by the way. Call in the energy of your future self. Create a strong relationship with him or her. And your future self, you could think of it, your future self can either be dark or vibrant. It can be slow and tamasic, or it can be sattvic and brilliant. The idea is to get into the rajas, right? Get into the love, the energy of love. Call in that to help guide you and stay open to how can you think differently about the way you engage in your life and the way you step into this world. hence why I'm here. All right. And that if you can make beauty, how can you bring beauty into the world, your goal, then that will kind of be kind of your core principle or value to help guide you through this year. And we'll all forget, because as soon as the energy changes in the month, when the sun moves into Aquarius on January 19th, we're just like, hey, forget the structure and refining. Don't forget though, what's sustainable for you? These are key words: sustenance, simplify, structure, responsibility, ambition, drive, determination. These are all key words as we move into January. And then all of a sudden it's like, freedom, I don't want to do those. But we want to think of like, how can I continue on with this earth energy, but then think bigger and feel the change. And then we're going to feel this sort of like, how do we call on technology, but also invite in spirituality and invite in spiritual tools like astrology, like meditation, like yoga, like mindfulness, like being in nature. I would really love for you to list out your spiritual tools for yourself and keep them somewhere, because then when you're lost, you can turn to them, right? Okay. So that is January 19th. Now, there's this big bang energy that happens around January 8th and 9th. That's when we're going to feel all this like, whoa, like things are happening. And then we're going to feel some tension. Tension's not bad. Tension keeps us motivated. Hello, like we're all still a little exhausted. So look at the structure. How are you going to be sustainable? You have to schedule time for rest. You want to actually schedule days on your calendar that aren't chock full of things to do. Value the respite, okay? Even though I still like respite better. Okay, and feeling how, when there's shocking energy or surprises, stay curious, stay open to the extraordinary. And the extraordinary is just extraordinary energy, and come back to those grounding elements of the greater good. We're doing this all for one sort of energy, which all for one for all, which is the idea of Aquarius, the idea of universal unconditional love. But the kind of downside of Aquarius energy is that we already know and we don't stay open. So we want to stay open. So then we have the full moon on January 28th, which is really, really a big amplification. I think it's the 28th. That's funny. I gotta look at my notes. Yeah, the full moon is January 28th. And there's a lot happening on this day. It's like gonna have its own taste, but know that we have more shift of energy. So think to the future, right? The main signatures are getting curious, getting clear in your values, being ambitious about transformation, the power of transformation. Like, get curious about the cycles of creation, sustenance, dissolution, life and death and rebirth, and ponder it. Like, the sun sets every day. We're given this invitation. And get clear in your boundaries for yourself. Think of how you can connect to your own superpowers, your own strengths. Be okay with redefining success. It's important for us to do it. And then as we redefine success, we want it to be the success for the collective. You have to take care of yourself. You are the only energy you really have a say-so on is your own, but you're going to influence everybody else. So, anybody noticing how the astrology of the language of astrology is very parallel to the language of the esoteric practices that yoga has brought forward for us? So we want to respect tradition. We want to respect where it comes from. And like if I go all the way back to the Rig Vedas, they looked to the heavens for answers. And they were big in ritual. We don't have to be that extreme because our life is different. And so here we are starting anew, but we're still humans living on this planet. So, all right, there's lots of things. Stay curious. The revolution is strong, and there's going to be resistance, and watch your own resistance. So that's how we can work with it collectively. Watch your own resistance. And how can we really cut ties, but integrate the lessons? Not just maybe of last night, maybe of last month, maybe of last year, maybe of the last 20 years, maybe of your life, of your journey. You get to choose. Maybe of the last breath you took, maybe the last hug you got to have with your family members. We want to respect it, integrate it, and let that inform us. And also have that conversation with your future self, your highest self, and invite it into your daily offering so that you can stay clear in those values and your innate goodness and wholeness and worth, so that you can choose from a place of love rather than the fear. Okay, because fear is always there. Fear is part of our life. Fear is not going anywhere, but it can be with the energy that keeps us separate. And if we connect to these values, when we experience change or sudden surprises or big shifts that seem like we're out of the normal, and we think like, oh, 2020 is over, we're done with that. No, we're still in a journey, and we're really in a journey for the next 200 years. So we won't know how all of this unfolds in our lifetime, right? However, in our lifetime, we have this opportunity to really embody our soul's journey in that light and to navigate with more grace. And so I think most everybody here knows that I have a Facebook page, Yoga Full of Grace. My LLC is Grace Filled Growth. And that's just kind of my hope and desire, is that with all the change that we can bring forward, we can really be of service, that we can use our superpowers, our gifts, our strengths, and a way to embody them, to step forward, baby steps, but know that we're creating a legacy, that we can respect tradition, and we can also invite in a modern application and unite, right, with like-minded energy to bring more harmony, to bring more charm. And when the month ends with full moon energy, and it's full moon energy in Leo, so it's looking about how we can remain confident, how we can allow our own light to shine and encourage the light of others to shine just as bright. And we'll have this Aquarian energy that vamps up pretty strongly at the end of the month. So we have this kind of big, potent week around the 8th to the 12th. With the moon, we do have inauguration on the 20th, and we have some big shifts of Earth happening cosmically around that time as well. And that we're just evolving, right? Humanity is evolving, leadership is evolving. So how can you evolve in the leadership you have in your own life? And that evolve from a place of love, connection to humanity, and big picture ideas. Don't undermine them. If you have some kind of crazy idea, just write it down and keep that ability to ground your ideas, because we are taking this leap. The theme really for the next few months and the major energies of this year are earth and air. And then we'll have a little shift, but pretty much in the summer, we get a little more influence of water and that emotion, and then we'll move back into that earth and air energy. So here we go. Did I do it? Oh, I did it. I gave myself 30 minutes because it's a lot to take in. This is here for you. My clients will get a little broader summary. And if you guys, something that I want to do is have a membership, but it freaks me out because of all the disruptions, right? And keeping up with technology. But I really want to create something where you can, if this interests you, it's just easier to access it. So I'll keep you posted on that. But if you're interested in getting this write-up, just let me know. It has taken a lot of time and work and effort, so I do appreciate some sort of energetic exchange financially, because our time is valuable, and I think we've learned that. I think that is one of the things that 2020 has taught us is the value of our lives, the value of community, the value of connection, the value of technology, and the value of time, and that it's one of our most powerful resources. And then of course the earth, which is also one of our resources, and improving our relationship with that resource is really important. So I'll say that, I'll summarize a big theme, if you missed my post for 2021 is values, being clear in them, boundaries. This is for the whole year, you guys. And letting your kid play with technology that makes a lot of noise and spins around and dances. But also just that financial responsibility, being aware of how you spend your money, how you engage with your money. I do have a friend who's putting forward a course. She hasn't released it to the public yet. It's only $22. So if you really want to explore how you, your relationship with money, I highly recommend her. She's awesome. And so, but if you want kind of this like month synopsis, let me know. And you can message me, you can put it here, and I will share more with you as the month goes. I'm in an energy of not over committing or over promising, but I know it's coming. So I thank you however you watch this. Whether you were live with me, you came back for the playback, and as I close out, what I would love for you to do is just pause. Of course, my son is playing with a remote control that is loud, but this is life. This is like such an invitation. We're gonna just invoke a small prayer for the year, for the month, and really invoke a meditation that helps us understand this embodiment of physical and spiritual, of the matter and spirit, of our what is seen and unseen, and that inward and outward, just that play of polarity, because earth and air are very distant. I am gonna close this other door for noise so I can stay present. So go ahead and get seated. Okay, so here we go. Ra and Rio, just in time for meditation. I think I said I was gonna do this at 2 and not 2:30, whatever. I am in my own blurry land, taking a leap. So anytime meditate, look around, honor, respect, adjust things if you need to adjust them. When you close your eyes, invite in the highest, bring your hands wherever they wanna be, that we can call in our future selves. We can have a vision for this year of connection and harmony and goodwill to one another. That we can invite the wisdom of where we've been, the ancients and our own lineage. But that we can also call on our future selves, the highest good, of the highest energy, harm to none, to guide us and inform us. That we can be open to the downloads when we are surprised in our life, and we can stay open and curious. And as we place this intention that you let your hands in your seat and your eyes close, you move your energy downward, inward into your heart. Just envision there's just this great magnetic force pulling you into a great chamber, cavern of your own heart, where you can breathe life in to not just your physical being and your lungs and your physical heart, but also that energy that is unseen, that greater sense of support to all your guides and angels and the universe and the cosmos that are just calling us forward, that love, that continues to carry us forward. We invoke and invite that energy inside of ourselves. The diamond of the heart, the cavern of the heart, the sacred space within you. And breathing in, and then bring your awareness all the way into your hips and into the earth. And 3 breaths here, just connecting. And as you exhale, just release the tension, the uncertainty, all the mental agitation that is judging you and how you're doing. And that brings you more into the cellular makeup of who you are. Releasing the words that were spoken or unspoken. And then you're going to bring your awareness all the way above. You're going to climb all the way back up above the crown of your head. And just invite in that wisdom, those downloads, those insights of the highest. That we can allow for big picture energy to expand our sense of spirit, our sense of self, of being in community and relating to one another, not from a place of resistance and reaction, but really from our ability to respond and re-envision our structures, what's sustainable, and simplify. And then bring your awareness back into your own heart and feeling that integration of the celestial influence and our earthly nurturing, our physical resources, and our spiritual support here in our own hearts. And just feel the intersection of this energy, this integration, dancing through our systems, allowing our nervous systems to be held and supported. And that any time we get carried away with worry or fright or uncertainty, that we can ground and feel held and supported. And that any time we get too caught up in the details, overly determined, and that we lose sight of the bigger picture, that we can call in this newness, this freshness of air, this shift in perspective and in our awareness. And may there be peace in our own hearts. May there be peace in our home. May there be peace in our communities, and may there be peace in humanity and in the cosmos, in the universe, and that all the many systems that make up our ability to be here, may we know and lean in to this energy that is seen and unseen. May we stand in our truth, stand in our light, and trust in our inherent sweetness, the benevolence, and the joy that allows us to integrate all that's gone and the wisdom that awaits us, that we can bring the love and our light to life. For the good of all, to be of service. And so it is. Just allow your head to bow. Let your fingers turn forward, let your palms turn up, opening your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands. And then coming back into this realm, into this world with just the truth of you. Whatever came forward for you, may it serve you so that we can be of service to one another. As always, straight from my heart to yours, I appreciate you, and be well.